Alright, we're back for Universe 7's God of Destruction, Beerus, the original God of Destruction, and I've got to say, this was the first god that I had, like, real, actual difficulties with, which was surprising, because I'm pretty sure when I originally fought him, when he first came out, I don't think I thought he was too difficult at all. So, yeah, obviously because, for whatever ungodly reason, Dokkan only allows you 3 attempts per day, which I presume is probably something to do with making it harder if you can just keep trying and trying. I just like, oh, what's the point? Maybe it's like to artificially extend the content, whatever. But because it's only 3 times a day, it took me like 3 days to get Beerus done, because the first like 2 days, like first 6 attempts, I just got annihilated. And the reason was just like bad luck, mainly on this starting int phase. Obviously Beerus starts out int, and then you build up his fury meter, and then he goes to STR, where he does a lot more damage. So what you want to do is you want to build your team mostly AGL. The issue is that there are some AGL. Some of these units will be fine as soon as we get to STR Beerus, but starting out in int Beerus, they can take a lot of damage. Case and point, well, there's 2 on the team actually. Transforming Goku, who obviously he doesn't start out most defensively viable, and also he really needs to stack up a few turns first. So if he gets super attacked by Imp Beerus, he would take a lot of damage. And same can be said for my AGL Kale and Khalifa, who are only... see, look, if AGL Evolution Blue Vegeta is taking that much damage, then Transforming Goku would get me killed. Especially because he lowers defense, which is very scary. But AGL, Kale and Khalifa here, mine are 55%. I got them from that, like that special stone pack thing you could buy during New Year's. And as you can see, their defense is just not great starting out. But luckily in this run, despite taking a huge amount of damage to Evolution Blue Vegeta, we didn't die, and we got to STR Beerus relatively okay. I was a little afraid on this turn because there was just no key for me to give Transforming Goku. But so I decided to float him off, which wasn't really what I wanted to do. But I was confident. We had a slot 1 unit on the other rotation being AGL UI Goku, so I was confident we were going to be okay here. So just quickly running through the team, obviously as I've already mentioned Transforming Goku and Kale and Khalifa. They're AGL units, they stack defense there. So that as soon as we got to STR Beerus, so it was for the most part going to be okay. This was the first stage, I think, that I decided to bring both Tech Khalifa and her SSR. Because I was struggling so much, I decided that I should do that. For the most part during these runs, I've been trying to avoid using both because I feel like it would just make it too easy. But for the stages I thought were going to be very difficult, or for the stages that were very difficult, I decided to just use her anyway. Because obviously the main objective is just to get it done. There's no like other rules attached to it. So I decided to bring both their SSRs, which it was a good decision in the end, because it meant there was a lot of damage we could miss. But it did mean that it slowed us down a little bit, because instead of bringing more AGL units to do damage, we were left with 2 units which were effectively zeros in terms of damage. And then leader, Evolution Blue Vegeta, fairly simple. He's got type advantage, he can do really good damage, and he has good defense as well. So I was confident that up against a STR enemy, he'd be basically impossible to kill, or at least we'd have to be very low HP like we are right now to die from a super attack. Especially if he's like double supering, triple supering, stuff like that. And obviously normals were no problem. And then AGL UI Goku, you know, he's here for damage, he's here for defense, he's just, he really is the best unit. Like, he really is, at least on global, probably still the best unit in the game, or at least one of, for the time being, until Red Zone comes out and the power creep is true. Because at the moment, like, obviously stuff like Ginyu, Goku and Gohan, and Cell are probably better, but at the moment there's no Broly in the game, so AGL UI Goku doesn't have that weakness of being unrunnable in the hardest stage in the game at the moment, so you could easily still call him the best unit in the game on global until the 7th anniversary, which I think is a fair assessment. But yeah, so this run, obviously it took me many tries, but I think this run, after that like initial like dangerous section at the start where we took a huge amount of damage from Evolution Luigi, I don't think it went that poorly. So, yeah. Damn. I don't think there's much else to say, to be honest, with this fight. I mean, like, as soon as you get to the STR phase, like, with all these AGL units, I wasn't gonna have too many huge difficulties. One difficulty I did run into quite a few times is transforming Goku with his really weird link set. Because it keeps changing, you know, it goes from prepared for battle to over in a flash, and then to over a flash shocking speed. It's just annoying, because it means, like, we don't have anyone else on the team who really works super well with him. So I was really pondering on this turn what to do, because I really wanted to get him the super, but in the end I just couldn't, so I just sort of pray that he gets an additional, which I'm pretty sure he does in the end. I was a little scared there during while I was playing, because obviously UI Goku gets 30% defense after he dodges once, so he would take basically nothing if he dodged first, but seeing him take 30k when our HP is so low was just a little scary. So I'm fairly positive that if he got hit now, he would take, you know, close to double digits. But I mean, he dodges it all, so we'll never know. But yeah, this run went much better than most of my previous runs, where, you know, I would get super attacked, you know, turn one, or get super attacked on a unit that just couldn't take it before we had the chance to go into Beerus's rage mode, or for example, afterward, like, because I tried many different teams, I can't remember all the different units I used, but a lot of them just couldn't handle like, they were fine with normals, but if a super attack came at them, it was just instant death for us. So I got, like, really unlucky super quite a few times. Like, I'm fairly positive, actually thinking about it, there was one run, which in hindsight was quite stupid, but I brought physical UI, because I was sort of like banking on his 50% chance to dodge, like, but for whatever reason I totally forgot he would have type disadvantage against STR Beerus, and he gets hit by a normal and takes like 150k, but he just doesn't dodge, so he then gets hit for another 150k, and then I think he gets super attacked for like 700k, and it was just like, it was so painful, because that was my last run of the day, but like, thinking about it, like, even straight afterwards, I was like, why did I bring physical UI? Like, he was obviously going to get me killed. So, I think that was sort of like the type coverage that they were going with this stage, because obviously, if you were to bring a lot of physical units, you could probably get, like, quite a lot of damage in at the start before he goes into his rage mode, where he does a lot more damage. But obviously the downside to that is that as soon as he goes into rage mode, all his physical units have type disadvantage and most likely get you killed. So obviously the strat really is just to sort of try and skate by his first phase and then stack up on AGL units. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing really else to say, so I'm just gonna leave it here, but I'll see you guys in the next one.